everybody knows when we get up in the morning to start it. And,
Everybody, we're up.
Yeah, we're up. We're coming into camp.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my next video. We've got a real treat today. We're going to check out an Argosy that has been virtually rebuilt completely by my new friends, Scott and Ariane. Hi, Scott and Ariane. Welcome to the channel.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
And before we check out your Argosy, how long have you been on the road?
Well, we've been kind of part-time on the road for a long time. Full-time, we left in August of this year.
So we're hitting about 5 months at this point.
Yeah.
5 months. But you've been kind of nomadic longer than that.
For a long time, yeah. We kind of started with the van. We were here at the RTR a couple years ago, living out of the van. We do a lot of backpacking, and so we got tired of staying in hotels all the time, so we just kind of pimped out a van first. So that was the first experience, and then we ran into this Argosy, and we thought that might be kind of fun to redo, fun-ish, and now we're full-time on the road.
Good. So you had been backpackers before that.
Yep.
Yeah. So we've been backpacking most of our adult lives, both separately and together. And so we've been living out of a 45-liter pack for a long time. So we really felt like the adjustment into this life was a lot easier for us because we were very, very comfortable with being minimal already, and being uncomfortable at times. And so it was a very natural adjustment to kind of move into a more like nomadic life with, a little bit more, a little bit more of a hard shell than just the tents. So this is definitely, it feels right for us. It's been hard, obviously, but there's all the difficulty of what we've experienced in these last 5 months doesn't even come close to outweighing all the positives of what we're benefiting by being out in this land.
Absolutely.
You're still young. How are you supporting yourselves?
Well, thank you for calling me young. I appreciate that. So we have a podcast that we monetize. It's getting better and better and better. We've had some sponsors along the way, and that's really kind of helped us a lot. We lived in almost a shoebox apartment for a long time to save as much money as we could before we came out here. So between the monetization of our podcast and some other things, we try to work. We write a lot of blog posts. We do as much as we can to try to make revenue on the road.
What's the first? Tell us the name of your podcast.
Trust the Trail.
Trust the Trail podcast.
And that is primarily then backpacking.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really the whole thing of it, the whole niche of the podcast. And you do a lot of stuff on your videos the same way, is that, it's as scary out there as you make it scary. But in reality, it's, Bigfoot's probably not going to jump out of the woods while you're backpacking, So we try to get people to say, just, if you plan and prepare, the trail does provide everything you need. It provides friendships, community. It may provide you a ride home. If something goes wrong, it may provide somebody who's got, something to help you with your blister, or advice or knowledge or whatever that may be. Confidence, self-esteem. And so if you trust that is guiding you to a better place, then the trail does kind of give you everything you need. Just get out there and don't be afraid to camp in the woods by yourself. It's probably going to be okay.
And so do you have, you mentioned a blog. You have a blog also.
Yep.
That's also through trustthetrailpodcast.com.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so all of our blogs, all of our writings, all of our inspiration is also on that website as well.
And YouTube?
So our YouTube channel is really kind of like the journey of this. It's our nomadic idea. So our YouTube channel is called This Nomadic Idea, which was really first. The podcast kind of like took that over, but it's really This Nomadic Idea is our YouTube channel. It's our journey on renovating this thing on a tiny little farm in Georgia with no tools, no experience, nothing, and just
Getting to where we're at now.
yeah,
Yeah.
getting to where we're at now. We're still amazed that when we see the Airstream in places that we kind of step back and we're like, wow, the Airstream's actually here.
So was the van not quite big enough for two?
I think the issue with the van was not having space tall enough to be able to stand up in long term. The van is awesome in its own, and I love it, and we're very, very comfortable, and it feels like home, and our 2 dogs are very comfortable in there as well. But over a long course of time, not being able to stand up is gonna get to us. And so, you know, we purchased our Argosy on a whim, literally on a whim.
On a whim.
Not a lot of thought went into it when we did it, and we bit the bullet and we went for it. And so then we had to learn how to renovate it and make it our own. And so the van became less of our primary, and this became our primary, and our van just kind of supported the fact that we're comfortable in it. We know that we can go off and away from it, and it's self-sufficient on its own, but it's not our primary source.
So the Airstream, as you know, the Airstream just can't go places we want to go.
Yeah.
It just can't.
Yeah.
But the van can. And so like trailheads, remote places, things like that, we can detach, and the van is completely self-sufficient. So we could stay in the van, and we have
Everything we need.
Everything we need is in the van.
So it's doable for a couple weeks, but after that it becomes a little tight for us as a family of 4.
Now, Argosy is made by Airstream. Basically,
Right.
they're the same thing.
Yep. Yeah, Airstream almost went out of business in the 70s, and so they tried to create a very lightweight version of the Airstream, and it's pretty thin aluminum. There's not much to them. This Airstream only weighs 5,100 pounds, which was another deciding factor, because we've got the diesel van, and we knew we could pull it with a van. Everybody knows when we get up in the morning to start it, and
Everybody, we're up.
Yeah, we're up. We're coming into camp. But it pulls it great, and that gives it a little bit more power when we're negotiating, forest roads and things like that.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that there had been some rough times, and that's true for all of us.
Yeah.
But they outweighed the bad times. So just so the audience out there knows, what were some of the rough times you've had?
Probably just, I would say probably rough times. It's more like facing your fear sometimes, where you're not really sure where you're going to go, where you're going to spend the night, and you're a little uncomfortable at first. And with the strange thing is that we tell people to trust the trail, but we had to learn kind of like how to just trust the road.
Mm-hmm.
Trust that everything is going to be okay. Like when I feel very comfortable in the woods, I feel less comfortable driving around in the city, and so we had to kind of relearn a little bit about what we talk about as far as where we're going to go, budgeting. Being able, you're eating a little bit different because you got to cram your stuff in a smaller refrigerator. Just kind of like a little bit of a lifestyle change. But after that, the lifestyle change became better than our old lifestyle.
Trying to adjust into that lifestyle. The lifestyle altered a lot of what we did. It altered our daily patterns. It altered everything about like our time frames, how we function, how we communicate, how we navigate trying to take on the different responsibilities that perhaps we're better at. It's a learning curve, just like anything that you take on that's brand new in life. And that was probably more challenging than we had anticipated, just because we were faced with it day after day after day. But that also equally brought, I think, it brought so much beauty to the whole process of what we were doing, because we knew we wanted it, and we just kind of were like, okay, we're immersed in it now. Let's dig in all, on all fours, and just go for it and see where it takes us. And now we're at month 5, and it's blissful, and we're enjoying it
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
if I could give any advice to anybody, like, things are going to go wrong out here. It's not perfect. You know, things will break, things will, you know, everything will go wrong at some point or another. And the reality is you just have to, like, kind of be calm and prioritize what's the most important to get you to the next step.
Yeah.
And if you can do that, then you end up in a place where it's just, everything is good.
The big thing is that it's like all the other troubles in life.
Yeah.
You just get through them.
Right.
You do.
Right.
You do.
It's not a good time. It's not a great time. You wish it weren't happening, but you just get through it.
Right.
So if people are out there and they're thinking, well, boy, that doesn't sound very appealing. It's going to rain and snow. I'm going to break down. Maybe I should just give that whole idea up. What as a final piece of advice, what's your advice to people who are watching and thinking and wondering, should I do this? Can I do this?
Yes. 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 And yes. Everything is scary. Well, let's face it. If you haven't experienced something before, that's where the fear sets in, or that's where the unknown aspect sets in, and you can talk yourself out of almost anything. You can talk yourself out of this life, you can talk yourself out of anything in a normal day. Like, no, I'm not going to go do this because I've not experienced that before, or I have hesitancy about it. But the reality is it's no more scarier than anything else you've ever tried at a beginning stage in life. And if it's something that you're drawn to, there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't try it. And I know that first step is the hardest thing to do, but just like with anything, when you face it and you do it, you gain experience and you gain the knowledge. And then look at everything you've ever done in life where, you know, you did it for the first time and now you're no longer fearful of it. It's no different. It's the same thing. Like, go for it. If you have an inkling, figure it out and take the leap, and you know, you won't be scared anymore.
Yeah, and things, it's like less than 1% of the time. You know, I mean, yeah, if things broke down every day, but it's less than 1% of your total life. And so, you know, I'd say that, you know, for us, you know, every time we had to face a challenge or, you know, renovating this thing, it builds self-esteem, it builds self-confidence. You know, if you can get through that, you can get through the next one.
Yeah.
Those bad moments are the ones you look back at and smile the biggest.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but everyone I know does.
It's because that is what creates those impactful memories that last with you. So it's so worth it. Well, I mean, honestly, exploring this life introduces you to all the good. All the good in humanity, all the good in the people, all the support, all the just like encouragement that's out there to just keep going, because I think down deep everybody has a little bit of them that wants to try it out, and you keep hitting all the good, and it's just it's so wonderful out here.
Well, Scott and Ariane, thank you so much for sharing your perspectives and your experiences, and I love that. Trust the trail, trust the road.
Trust the road, yeah, absolutely.
Trust
really
the
good
road.
advice.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for having us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, folks, I know you got some really good stuff out of there, some real good hope and inspiration and ideas. So next we're going to do a tour of their rig. We're going to go inside the Argosy, see all the home-built stuff he's done to it. So come back for that video next. We're going to end this video now. It's gotten plenty long. So thanks for watching. If you got anything out of the video, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Today's sponsor is me. I'm the sponsor of this video. And what I want to tell you about real quickly is I'm offering